Hello traders, FXPIPCOLLECTOR here. Today is Monday, April 24th, and happy Monday. New start of the new week. Let's try to make it a very profitable week as normal. So as usual, we're going to start off by looking at the DXY US dollar index. We're going to do the full top-down analysis all the way down to the 1 hour time frame. Then we're going to apply the information that we learned by analyzing the DXY US dollar, and we're going to apply that to all the other dollar pairs, including gold. So we may as well just get started right away. So definitely, if you have not done so already, definitely join my free Discord channel. I'll put the link for that in the chats, and it is also in the description. So we may as well get started with the DXY monthly. Now I still see the possibility that this is the end of a wave C right here. If that is the end of a wave C, then this will end up continuing the downtrend like I've been saying for quite some time now. But there is, especially if you do zoom out a little bit, which I don't really talk about on my videos because I don't really have time. But there's always a possibility this is like a 1, 2, 3, and then this is like a 1, 2 of 3, and that this goes up and makes like a 3, 4, 5 like that. That is definitely a very likely possibility also. So we're definitely going to have to keep this in mind. I do understand this is the monthly time frame, but it definitely would not surprise me if it did something along these lines also. But if we zoom back into a more normal view, I still am sticking to the idea that this right here is the end of an ABC correction. If it's not the end of an ABC correction, then it will probably do something like this, which we definitely should be able to recognize. If it makes this pattern, we'll be able to recognize it and we'll know that it's going back up. On the other hand, if it is the end of a correction, then it will most likely continue to make lower lows and lower highs, because that's what happens at the end of a correction, whether you're talking about the monthly, the 1 minute, or anything in between. So anyways, let's keep that in mind. Let's head down to the weekly time frame. I switch back to the US dollar index on the weekly. So on the weekly time frame is where we can see a downtrend, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still think that this is more likely a wave 1, but it definitely could possibly be a wave A. I still think that this right here may have already ended a correction, but I do have this ABC on here just to remind myself that it definitely is possible that it does this, and it would actually be a little bit more of a clear pattern if it did do something like that. So if it does go up and make an ABC of 2 or possibly an ABC of B, that's definitely going to be a completely normal looking pattern also. But like I said, I do see the possibility that we've already ended a correction and that this is just going to keep on trending down, making lower lows and lower highs. So now let's take it down to the daily time frame. Now on the daily time frame, like I was just showing you on the weekly, there's definitely a possibility this is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. This move down is a B, and then it goes back up and makes a wave C. That would be a completely normal looking pattern if that is what it ends up doing. Now I still am sticking to the idea, because this move down right here looks more like a trend than a correction, that even if price does go up and break structure, it's probably just going to be a correction to this last move down, and it probably will just keep on trending down like that. I definitely see what I think is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1 or A. This move up is probably either an A, B, C, D, E, or possibly a motive wave correction. I think this move up that we're currently getting is only going to be a correction to this move down right here, and it will go up to probably one of these fib levels and most likely continue the downtrend. Now as of now, we definitely haven't taken out any structure to the upside yet, so the trend is definitely still down. As of now, this move up right here very easily could be a correction, and it could make a lower high and just keep on trending down. So taking it down to the 4 hour time frame. Now I have this ABC here because I do see impulsive up. Pretty much all of last week we've been in a very corrective motion, and it looks like the market's still in a ranging area, but it definitely made what looked like an ABC correction. Now if this was really the end of an ABC correction, then this would just end up continuing the downtrend. It would be making an impulsive down and corrective up, just like this over here, because that's what happens when you have the end of a correction. But instead we're getting very, very corrective down. That makes me think that this is probably going to go up. It probably is going to take out structure, and it may even turn into like a 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5 of wave A, something like this. So we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on that. Even though it hasn't broken structure to the upside yet, I do think there's a good chance that it probably will. Now, going down to the 1 hour time frame, really, if we put our Fibonacci right here, I bet that we've made 3 waves down right to a Fibonacci level, which we have. So right here is where I potentially thought that this was the end of a Cretson. Like I said, if that was the end of a Cretson, then this would end up looking like that. When you enter at the end of a Cretson and you see price not trending, that usually tells you that this is invalidated and that probably is not the end of a Cretson. So what happened was we made 3 waves down, we bounced off this 61% Fibonacci level at least 3 times, and it looks like we're making impulsive moves up. I bet we're going to break structure, and I bet this is going to end up continuing up, and it's going to invalidate the idea of this being an ABC Cretson. It may even turn into like a 1-2 and a wave 3. Maybe a wave 3 of wave A, or maybe a wave 3 of a big wave C like I was showing on the much longer time frames. So now that we have this kind of figured out, like I said, we're definitely still in a big range, which we've been in for quite some time now, probably over a week. We've just been hanging out in this one area right here. So we definitely got a little bit of a triangle going on or something, but there is some clarity there, and the clarity is starting to tell me that it's actually probably going to go up. So if that's going to go up, then most likely the other pairs are probably going to go down. Let's go to the euro dollar and head up to the daily time frame. So anyways, on the daily time frame, the euro dollar, we still have not broken any structure to the downside. We still can't say that this uptrend is over, and there's still a possibility that it could just keep on drifting up. But looking at the DXY, I'm starting to think that this is actually going to make another move down, which could even break structure, but I still believe that the trend is up. I just think that we're probably going to be due for a bigger Cretson. So heading down to the 4 hour time frame. On the 4 hour time frame, just like the US dollar index, this does look like an A, it does look like it made a corrective wave B, and it definitely does kind of look like a wave C. If that is the end of a Cretson, then this needs to continue the uptrend like that. If it does not do that, but instead it turns down, which it already is trying to, it looks like, then that's going to invalidate the idea of this being an ABC Cretson, and it's probably going to be like a wave A. This is probably like our corrective ABC of B, and it probably is going to go down again for a C. So by the looks of the dollar index and some of these other dollar pairs, I'm starting to think that may be what actually is going to happen here. Now, I've been long on the euro dollar, and I'm still long on the euro dollar because there's really no confirmation that it's going down yet. But if it does go down, if it does break that structure, that's going to tell me that this is not trending up. Because like I said, if you enter at the end of an ABC Cretson and it does not trend, then it's probably not the end of an ABC Cretson. So right now I'm still long the dollar. I'm not exiting my trade yet, but if I see it go down, if I see it take out structure, that's going to tell me that this is the end of probably a wave B, and it's probably going down for a wave C, and I'll definitely exit my long and I'll go short on the euro dollar. So the euro dollar is definitely quite a bit stronger than some of the other pairs. So let's go and look at the pound dollar, which is really not very strong at all. And it's very similar though. I think this is a 1. I think this is probably an ABC of 2. This looks like an uptrend to me. I definitely see 5 waves there, and we just had a break of structure to the upside, so a bigger pullback is actually probably pretty likely. It's probably going to go down and maybe go down and take out some of these structures before it actually ends up continuing the uptrend. But since we have not taken out structure to the downside yet, we definitely still have to say that the trend is up, and it very easily could just keep on trending up. So really there's no confirmation that it's going down yet, other than the fact that it's not trending like it should be if it really was the end of a Cretson. I see impulsive down, looks like an A. I see a very corrective move up, looks like a B. I see impulsive down, looks like a C. It definitely looks like an ABC Cretson, and if it is, then it will continue to make higher highs, higher lows, and just keep on going up like that. But like I said, if it does continue to go down, especially if it takes out some structure, that's going to tell me that it's not trending. And if it's not trending, that pretty much invalidates the idea of this being an ABC Cretson. It may still be a wave A, but this is probably all a B, and it would probably at that point go down and make a wave C. So it would probably still be an ABC Cretson, but right now we would probably just only be in the wave B. So let's head down to the 1 hour time frame. So 1 hour time frame, I don't really see any reason to exit a long yet. If you are long, I definitely don't think I would exit yet, especially if you had a good entry from back here somewhere. But like I said, if it does make an impulsive move down, if it does start taking out structure, that's going to invalidate this ABC correction, because when you enter at the end of an ABC correction, it needs to start trending. If it does not start trending, then it's not the end of an ABC. It could even be an ABC and then a D, and then go down for an E. That's definitely a possibility. In a way, also, which isn't really that much different than calling this a wave A and calling this all very corrective wave B. And then this right here is still all part of a wave B probably. It's probably like a A. This is probably the B right here. And then this is probably going to end up being a wave C of wave B. Then if it turns, which it looks like it's trying to, and then it takes out structure, that's going to be a pretty decent little sword to go down and trade the wave C, or possibly a wave E, however you want to look at it. So I would, like I said, I don't think I would exit my long yet. There really is no confirmation that it's going down yet, but if it does go down and take out structure, that will invalidate the end of this ABC correction. Now, the Aussie dollar been very weak to the downside. I probably wouldn't have been choosing this one to go long on anyways, but we are breaking structure to the downside. It still looks to me like it may have already made an ABC or B, so I still don't think it would surprise me if this move down did make a higher low and end up continuing the uptrend like that. But until it actually makes some sort of an impulsive engulf and move up like that, I definitely don't see any reason to think that this is over, and I would probably still look for sorts on sort of time frames since it is going down, and there's really no confirmation that it is over yet, so we may as well just trade with the trend on the sort of time frames. Now going down to the 4 hour, I do see impulsive down, looks like an A. I definitely see 3 waves up, looks like a B, and this move down could be a wave C. Now, like I was saying in my video this morning, unless it takes out this high right here, I would definitely just continue to look for sorts. If it takes out that high with a big candle, that would prove to me that the wave C trend is over. If the wave C trend is over, then that's probably going to be a real nice entry to go long for the continuation of the uptrend. But since it didn't take out any highs, since it looks like it's making a lower high, this very easily could just keep on going down, and it may not even be a wave C. It could be a 1, a 2, and a wave 3. Which, if it is a wave 3, it could very easily go down to one of these lower levels down here. So until it goes up and takes out some sort of structure on these higher time frames, like the 4 hour range, I would definitely still continue to look for sorts in a downtrend. Now, the Aussie dollar, I definitely would be interested in looking for sorts, but I don't know if I would be interested in looking for longs because of how weak it has been. So in a ways, as of now, it still looks like it could be an ABC, but the only thing that's going to tell me it's an ABC is by seeing a structure break to the upside. If I see a nice clear structure break, that will tell me that this is the end of a correction, and we could definitely start going long for the continuation of the uptrend. But since it's making lower highs, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, it's still definitely trending down on the 1 hour time frame, and it may even end up turning into a wave 3. Now, a wave C definitely could go down to the 100% Fibonacci level, so just because it goes down does not invalidate the idea that it's a wave C. If it goes down, bounces off the 100%, takes out structure to the upside, then that would tell me that it's a wave C also, and I would definitely be ready to go long for that continuation of the uptrend. So the Kiwi dollar has been even weaker than the Aussie dollar lately, and the Kiwi dollar is starting to make me think. Originally, I was thinking this was the ABC right here, and that this was the end of a correction. But what happened was it made a corrective move up and an impulsive move down. So we probably are in a trend right now. We probably are not finished with the trend. It probably will go down and take out the low of wave A to make a wave C or B. And then once that's complete, if it goes up, takes out structure, that will show me that this correction is over, and that should be a pretty good entry to go long for the continuation of the uptrend. So taking it down to the 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame, definitely we got kind of a 3-wave pattern right here. Definitely we got one wave down here, could be a wave A, but probably a wave 1. This is a 3-wave pattern up, probably a wave 2, but it could be a wave B still. And we definitely got a downtrend right here, which is definitely not confirmed to be over. We do not have any structure breaks to the outside. We do not have anything that tells us that this downtrend is over. If it does go up, if it does take out structure, that will tell me it's a wave C. If it doesn't go up, and if it doesn't take out structure and keeps making lower highs, then we'll probably just keep on going short, and it will probably just keep going down for what most likely is just going to be a wave 3. Probably a wave 3 of wave C on the longer time frames. So taking it down even more to the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, very, very corrective working right here, and it definitely has that 3, 4, 5 shape that you see at the end of pretty much every trend. So I'm still looking at this possibly as being the end of a correction, but I'm not going to really believe it until I see a nice clear structure break closing above structure. I'm starting to think that this, especially with the fact that it went past the 78% and looking at the daily, how it looks like it is in a downtrend, I think it's more likely that it probably will just keep on going down. So let's look at the US dollar Canadian. Still in a wave A, it looks like. So US dollar Canadian definitely made a downtrend right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very clear downtrend. We have an impulsive move up that went right to the high of wave 4. I still think it's a wave A. I still think the next move down is probably going to be a B, and it will probably go up again for a C. I think it will go up to maybe the 61, maybe the 78 before it actually does end up continuing back down. So taking it down to the 4 hour time frame. So 4 hour time frame, definitely still in a wave A right here. There's no end of a trend anywhere in sight. No structure break to the downside. Still all part of a wave A. So until we get a structure break, we're in a wave A. And when we do get that structure break, it's probably just going to go down and make a correction to this move up, which should be a wave B, and then eventually back up to make a wave C. I would expect it to end up looking something like this by the time it's all done. So let's take it down to the 1 hour time frame. Now on the 1 hour time frame, it definitely has that 3, 4, 5 shape. It looks like a 3, ABC of 4, and it looks like a wave 5, which does make me think that we probably are going to see the end of a trend within the next day or so, maybe even this afternoon in the New York session. If it goes down, takes out structure, that should prove that the wave A is over. Then it will go down, make a pretty good sized downtrend for the A or B, and the correction for the B or B, and another downtrend for the C of wave B. Before it goes up, takes out structure, and most likely ends up continuing the uptrend for wave C, just like what I was drawing on the longer time frames. So US dollar Swiss is definitely one of the better ones to continue to look for shorts. So what do we got here? We got too many ABCs, that's for sure. Here we go. Get rid of that too, because we don't want to see all that on the daily. So what's important to see on the daily right now is that we have a downtrend, looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1. We have a very clear 3 waves up, looks like a 2, and we're making lower highs this whole way down for what is probably a wave 3 still. We made another lower high this last week, and there's definitely no reason yet to think it's over. I'm sure there'll be more pullbacks, but as of now, I believe we're in a big wave 3, and I really don't see any reason to think it's over. Going down to the 4 hour time frame, what happened on the 4 hour? We made one wave up, one wave down, and another wave up. 3 waves up to a Fibonacci level, impulsive move down. When the higher time frames tell me that the trend is down, it's always an entry for me to go short in a downtrend. 3 waves up, 3 waves up, impulsive down. Impulsive down is how I look for short entries in a downtrend. So that was definitely a pretty decent short, and really I don't think it's over yet. I'm sure there will be some pullbacks along the way, but I would just continue to look for shorts in a downtrend. The Swiss has been really causing a lot of this pattern. We have some Swiss strength going on. But right here we got the end of a correction, we got impulsive down, we have breaks of structure telling us that this correction is over. Ever since then it's been trending down very nicely, and I still don't really see any reason to think it's over. We have that little like double bottom thing going on right here, so maybe we will make a pullback, but as long as it doesn't go up and take out this high, I would say that the trend is definitely still down, and I would definitely still look at this as possibly being an ABC correction, and at the end of that ABC I would definitely still be looking for shorts in a downtrend. So definitely no reason to think that's over yet also. And the US dollar yen, I even said in my video today that I don't really trust this pattern on the US dollar yen because the yen just keeps on going up. So I am starting to think that this probably is not the end of a correction right there. And we're probably actually going up for at least a wave C. This is probably all an uptrend right here, probably an A. Now this move down right here looks more like a trend, which is why I was thinking that we were probably going up for a correction to this move down. But really, I do kind of see three waves right there. I think that the wave C is right there with a higher low, and we probably are now in an uptrend, and we're probably just going to keep on going up and take out this high to make a wave C. Probably an A, B, C of 2. Maybe an A, B, C, or B, one or the other. Either way, it doesn't matter. A wave C of 2 and a wave C of B is exactly the same strategy either way. Going down to the 4-hour time frame, like I said, it definitely looked like an A, B, C, D, E, and it did break structure to the downside, but then what happened was it made three waves down, it made an impulsive move up. If that right there was really the end of a correction, then it would not have made three waves down and impulsive up, but instead it would have just kept making lower lows and lower highs and trending. Since it wasn't trending and instead it made three waves down, impulsive up, I bet this is going up, and I bet that this is not even a correction anymore. I'm going to have to definitely get rid of these, I believe, and it's probably not even a correction. It's probably the continuation of the uptrend for a wave C on the longer time frames. Going down to the 1-hour time frame, you can see it a little more clear now. We got impulsive down, wave A, and if you look at all other yen pairs, which I always consider the US dollar yen more of a yen pair than a dollar pair, you can see that a lot of the yen pairs made a very similar pattern to this. We had impulsive down, wave A, three waves up, wave B, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wave downtrend for wave C. Impulsive up, taking out structure. That is the end of a correction, and it definitely is trending up. I don't really think the trend is over either. I would expect it to continue up. Especially it seems though that the dollar seems like it's gaining a little bit of strength. And the yen is still weak, so definitely probably a pretty good one to go long on right now. Oh, gold went down. It's going down. That's pretty obvious that this is not an end of a correction also. Now, looking at it, I would say that this is only a wave A. This is definitely only a wave A on the daily. I bet it's going to make a big correction now. Probably an A, B, C correction before it actually ends up continuing the uptrend. So we're going to have to see how big this turns out to be, but the shape of this doesn't really look to me like an ABC anymore. We can definitely get rid of this because that's pretty much invalidated. So really what we probably have is probably a wave 1. We probably have a wave 2, and we're probably just going to keep going down for a wave 3, I bet. Eventually we'll probably make something like this for like a 3, a 4, and a 5 of wave A. So we're definitely going down in a little bit of a bigger way. I still think that on the much longer time frames, gold will make a big move to the outside, but probably not until it makes a big correction. It definitely looks like it's making a pretty good sized correction. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, even in my video this morning, I said that gold doesn't really look that convincing that it's going up. I said in my video, if you see 3 waves up to a Fibonacci level and you see an impulsive move down, that was going to be the end of a correction, and that would have been a very nice entry to go short. It probably will keep on going down. We're probably in a wave 3. This right here is probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the 1. A, B, C up for the 2. I bet we're in a wave 3 of wave A right now, which means that we probably have a pretty good amount of time. To the short side. So probably some pretty decent shorts coming up for sure. So we got all the dollar pairs, and we got a few yen pairs to look at. Let me write some stuff down. I gotta look at some yen pairs, the Canadian yen, and probably a few others. I just made videos for the euro yen and the pound yen not too long ago, but we can definitely look at the Canadian yen, and we'll look at the euro Swiss, and we'll probably look at natural gas and oil also. Maybe we'll look at the S&P 500 and see what's going on with the stock market. Probably it's making a little bit of a move down if the dollar's making a move up. So I just made videos earlier today on the euro yen and the pound yen, so I don't really see the point in going over these again. I literally just made videos for both of these within the last few hours, but we can definitely look at the Canadian yen. Which the Canadian, for some reason, the Canadian is actually quite weak right now, but it probably will end up gaining some strength if we look at all the yen pairs. The Canadian yen is definitely much weaker right now. The euro yen and the pound yen both ended up continuing the uptrend. So is this a wave B? That's kind of the question we have to ask. Let's go back a little bit here. So is this right here wave B? Let's get rid of this Fibonacci level for now, and let's put a Fibonacci retracement measuring this wave down. It is kind of looking like a wave B, but the trend is definitely up on the longer time frames. I think we're in a big wave 3. So even though we think it should do something like this before it goes up, it may not do that. It may actually just keep drifting up right now. So the trend is definitely still up. 4-hour time frame, the trend is definitely down, but looking at, we're on the Aussie yen too. So let's go to the Canadian yen. So even though we are going down right now, I still believe that this is more likely to just keep on going up, probably eventually end up looking something along those lines. And I definitely think that there's no reason to think this move down this move up is complete on any of the yen pairs. Now going down to the 4-hour time frame, this definitely does look to me more like a trend, which does make me think this move up is going to be a crutch into this move down. So let's do what we were going to do on the Aussie yen. Let's get rid of this Fibonacci. Let's put a Fibonacci retracement on from the top to the bottom, which really we should probably measure the whole trend. So what I would be doing is, since the trend is up on the longer time frames, I would definitely be looking for longs in a ways. So I probably would be long from right here, honestly, if I was looking to trade this. And as I was long, I would observe it either making a three-way pattern up and then a pulse to move down, which would tell me it's a wave B, or I would observe it making higher highs and higher lows and just keep on going up. So I would definitely still be looking for longs in an uptrend for sure. Going down to the 1-hour time frame, we definitely have impulsive up. This for sure could be a wave A. This is definitely 3 waves down. That could be a wave B also. Now if this is a wave C, then it probably will turn down at a fib level. We are at a fib level already, so if we see an impulsive move down, if we see a break of structure, I would definitely take that as a sorting opportunity for what may end up being the continuation of the downtrend. But like I said, I would probably be, if I was looking to trade this, I would be long already from back here most likely. I'm not in this because I wasn't really watching it, but it also could end up going into a 1, 2, 3, and if that's the case, then it will never break structure, which our most recent structures here. It will just keep on making higher highs and higher lows. So really the strategy for me would be to be long already, or I would be watching it to see if it does make an impulsive turn down. If it does, I would call that the end of a correction and the continuation of the downtrend. And pretty much the same thing on the Aussie yen. This definitely looks like it could be a wave B. I see one up, I see 3 waves down, I see one up. Don't see any reason to think it's over yet, and it very easily could just keep on drifting up and turn into a big wave 3, like a 1, 2, and 3. But if it does go up, if it does make an impulsive move down, if it does take out structure to the downside, that would tell me that the correction is over, and most likely it would go down and make a wave C. And then later on it would go up and continue the uptrend like that. So as of now, I don't really see much of a reason to think that this is going up in a big way. I mean, it definitely looks like it's a wave B, and a lot of the other yen pairs don't really. I mean, a lot of the movement on the euro yen is the euro, and the pound is the pound. If you look at some of these other ones, the Swiss is definitely moving up pretty strong too. I think we're in all-time highs almost. We're just about to make all-time highs on this, so that's pretty big deal, really. We're getting very, very close to all-time highs on the Swiss yen. So I would imagine we'd see some big pullbacks. So if this is going to pull back, then probably the Canadian yen will end a wave B. Probably will end a wave B, and it probably will go down for a wave C, either at the 50 or the 38% Fibonacci level. So yeah, we're going to look at oil also, definitely. So what do we got going on here? Let's see, we looked at the yen pairs. They're still going up pretty good. Let's go check out the Euro Swiss. See if there's any new information on this one. It's still kind of drifting down. I personally still don't see any reason to think that this is not the end of a wave C right here, and that this is not going to actually just keep on drifting down. There's definitely a little bit of doubt because of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shape right here, but so far we are definitely not broke any structure, so the trend is definitely still down. Going down to the daily, what do we see? We see possibly the end of a wave C. I still think this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1. This could be an A, B, C of 2. And I still think, especially looking at the US dollar Swiss, that this could be a wave 3, and it may go up, but I think there's a good chance that move up will just be a correction and the price will just keep on going down. So going down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, we got a nice downtrend forming. It's definitely making lower lows, lower highs. We do have a little bit of that 3, 4, 5 shape at the end right here, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's over. If it does go up, if it does start breaking some of these major structures, then what I would do is I would put my Fibonacci retracement from the top to the bottom, and I would observe to see if it made a 3-way pattern up, like something like this, and then an impulsive move down at a Fibonacci level. If it did do that, then I would definitely take that as a sorting opportunity for what most likely would be the continuation of the downtrend. So I definitely still think that most likely the trend is down, and that it probably will continue down. It is going up a little bit right now, but until it takes out this structure, I would still say that this trend is down also. I definitely see what looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there, but that doesn't really mean that it's over either. It does kind of look like 3 waves up right here. If it makes a lower high, and turns down, I would just keep on going short in a downtrend. I definitely don't really see any reason to think this is over yet. Yeah, I don't really see any reason to think that's over. A little bit of strength because of the euro. You can tell almost instantly just by looking at all the euro pairs that the euro is the reason why this isn't trending down like some of the other Swiss pairs are. If you look at some of the other Swiss pairs, they're much stronger to the downside. Look at that Canadian Swiss. That was actually a very nice entry right there. 3 waves up to a Fibonacci level. Nice impulsive down. Very nice looking entry. Aussie Swiss, I think I did something very similar. Yeah, not as clear though, but it definitely went up to a fib level and made a big impulsive down, and then made 3 waves up, made a lower high, and that was actually very clear also. Even I bet there's a little ABC right there on like the 1-hour time frame, and it's still going down pretty nicely. So definitely no reason to think that's over either, honestly. Look at that. That's actually a very clear entry. 1, 2, 3 waves up, impulsive turn, end of a correction. What happens at the end of a correction? It will take out the low, and most of the time just keep on trending down. So pretty nice entries on those Swiss pairs for sure. Let's go check out oil and see what's going on with natural gas. So let's go out to the weekly so I can kind of explain the whole situation with this. So I definitely see a few possibilities. One is that this is already the end of a wave A, and that this is going up to make an A, B, C, a B, and then it will probably go down again to make a C. I still think that's a pretty likely scenario, but if you go down to here, you can definitely see that the fact that this turned already, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it made a big turn, that looks more like a wave A. And it looks kind of like it's in an A, B, C of B right now. So if we can get in at the end of this move down, which will most likely go down to one of these fib levels, then we're going to learn whether this goes up and takes out structure and makes like a wave 3 of A, like I was showing on the weekly, or we're going to learn whether it goes up and makes a wave C like this, and then goes down, takes out structure. If it does that, we'll know that that's the end of a wave C. If it doesn't, then we'll... Yeah, I see. That's a good point, buddy. Let's look at that real quick. I was actually looking at that before I started live streaming, and since it's Monday, it's a really good day to check out the news calendar. So tomorrow we have consumer confidence. Oh, I gotta change my color. We have consumer confidence tomorrow. That was actually a very big news event last month when that happened, so that's definitely something to keep an eye out for tomorrow. We have CPI for the Aussie pairs, which hopefully will be the Aussie strength that we've been waiting for. Durable goods, yeah, kind of a good one, not really though. Unemployment claims is always can be pretty good. GDP, yeah, pending homes. That's not the normal GB, that's advanced GDP. So that's definitely something to keep an eye out too. And yeah, we got the Bank of Japan outlook. So this is a very good news event for the yen pairs. For unfortunately, it happens after 12:30 a.m. my time. But if you're in Asia or maybe you're in Western United States, this Bank of Japan is definitely going to be a really good event to keep an eye on. We got CPI for Germany, Bank of Japan conference. So yeah, we got some pretty good news for the yen pairs this week. Consumer sentiment on Friday. Yeah, Friday's gonna be a big day. Maybe Thursday too, really. But actually, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday all have some pretty good news events. So we definitely got some things to look forward to. So yeah, right now it looks like this is probably in a way B. Now go down to the 4 hour. To me, this looks like a trend. This looks to me more like a trend. It's probably a wave A. This move up is probably going to be a crutch into this move down. So really what you could probably do now is get rid of this Fibonacci and put this Fibonacci. Oops. Let's get rid of that because we want to get rid of this one. There we go. And then we can put our Fibonacci level from this top to this bottom. And that should give us a likely place for a turn. It's probably going to make some sort of a three-way pattern up, maybe to this area right here, maybe to 61 to the 50%, and then we're probably going to see at least one more push down for an A, B, C, or B. Then if you can get in at the end of that pattern, that's going to be a very good entry to go long, I believe, for the continuation of the uptrend. So we definitely have a breakup structure, just barely happened. So I think that it's confirmed that the wave A or B is over. And we're probably in like a 1, 2, 3. It's probably going to go a little more, make a wave A. Probably eventually going to make a crutch into that for the B, and then probably up one more time, maybe to the 60 or the 50% to make a wave C. Then if it goes down, then if it breaks structure, that's probably going to be the end of a crutch and the continuation of the downtrend for wave C. I think this move up is most likely going to be a B. So we can pretty much put that A there because I think that's pretty confirmed. And I would think that the wave B would probably go up to 50 or to 61% to finish off its move. So what's going on with natural gas? Is that thing, oh, it is starting to go back up. I was starting to have doubts last week whether it was actually going to go up like we were expecting or not. I still think that natural gas is very clear pattern right here. You just have to be a little bit patient with natural gas, I think, because the shorter time frames are a little on the choppy side, but the higher time frames are extremely clear that this is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1, A, B, C up, probably a 2. This is probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 3. And even though we haven't taken out any structure yet, I think this is the end of a 3. And we're not really 100% going to be able to confirm that wave 3 is over until it takes out this high, which I think is a wave 4. But by looking at it, it does look like it probably is going to go up and make a pretty good size move. I think we'd need to make a wave 4, which will be about the same size as this wave 2. So that would probably put us up to either the 38 or the 50% level. And before it made one more push down for the bigger wave 5. And then we'd have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern. So definitely very, very clear on the higher time frames. See, did it make, it did make kind of a three-way pattern. Oops. So we got impulsive up. Yeah, kind of a 3 waves. I see 1, 2, 3 waves down, spiked right to the 50%. Now it's turning up. Could this possibly already be in a wave 3? It definitely could be. If it is in a wave 3, then it will continue to do a nice strong uptrend, probably eventually like that. Probably eventually make a 3, a 4, and a 5 of wave A. Probably a wave A of wave 4, I would imagine. 1 hour time frame. Yeah, definitely not the clearest move, is it? I mean, looking at it on the shorter time frames makes you think that this is a wave B, but I'm more inclined to trust the longer time frames, and I definitely see what looks like a trend. I definitely see what looks like a three-way pattern for a B, and then I do see a move down to make a C. So I'm more inclined to think that this is actually just going to keep on going up like that, making higher highs and higher lows. Could already be in a wave 3, honestly. Now, if it is not in a wave 3 and this really is a wave B, then we should be able to see a big engulfing candle telling us that it is a wave B. If we never see that candle and it just keeps drifting up, then I bet it's a wave 3, and I would definitely just continue to look for longs in an uptrend for sure. So let's see, we got all of the requests, so let's go look at Bitcoin and the S&P 500, see what's going on with that. Bitcoin has made a big move down over the weekend, didn't it? Ooh, look at that. Is that the end of a correction? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, maybe? Yeah. I don't really see. I mean, it definitely broke structure, but I don't really see any real important structure broken yet. I definitely see a downtrend on the weekly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was thinking that this is either a wave A, probably more likely a wave A, and that we're going up for a B. And I was actually thinking that this may actually end up just being a wave A. And then it's going to make a B, and then it's going to make a C, which would put us all the way up to probably about the $42,000 area, maybe the $35,000 for an ABC of B. That is a pretty big move down right there, though. I wonder if that could be it. I definitely see an uptrend, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. I see 3 waves down. So this is either an A or 1. This is either a B or 2. And we're either in a wave 3 or a wave C. If it's a wave C, then it will take out structure, proving that it's a wave C like that. If it's not a wave C and it really is a wave 3, then it will make a higher low, and just keep on trending up. So looking at the longer time frames, I still think it's more likely to be a wave 3 of wave A. So are we past the 78% of this whole move up yet? It looks like we are. We're pretty much right there now. But I do see a little bit of a three-way pattern right here. That looks like it could be possibly a wave A. That could possibly be a wave B, and this could be a wave C. So if it does go up, if it does take out structure, I would consider that respecting the 78%, and I would consider that possibly the end of a correction, and I would definitely be trying to look for longs in an uptrend. If that is the end of a correction, then we definitely want to try to go long, because we may go all the way up to about $42,000 or maybe even a little more. So yeah, we can look at the Nifty. We're going to go switch over to the S&P 500 in a few minutes here, so we can look at the Nifty for you also. Oh, it's definitely looking like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, isn't it? Like a kind of like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if this breaks structure, I would say that's respecting the 78, even though it did go past it, and I would definitely say that that possibly is the end of a correction. But only if it breaks structure, because that move down is pretty strong. So if it makes another lower high and makes a big engulf and turn down, I would be more inclined to just continue to look for shorts until I see a nice clear break of structure to the upside. If I don't see a nice clear break of structure to the upside, then I would just continue to look for shorts. And there is a possibility that we've already ended a correction on the longer time frames, even though it doesn't really look that convincing yet. My old mentor used to say, if you are looking at a correction and you are not convinced that it's over, then it probably is not over. I'm not really too convinced that that is over, so it probably is not over. It's probably going to go up and look like that. So let's switch over to the stock market. Let's look at the S&P 500 first, which is still going up, which is good because I do think that we need to go up more. I still think this is a downtrend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. This looks like an A. 3 waves down for the B, and I still think that we're going up for a wave C. I think it's going to go up and break the high of wave 4, and then it probably will go down again. Probably, I'm thinking all the way down to the 61.8 to make a wave C. So I'm definitely still thinking that we have a big move down on the stocks. But I don't really think it's ready yet. It might be a few weeks or maybe even a few months before it's actually ready to do that. Now, we did have a move down right here, but as you can see, it's a higher low, higher low. It's still, the trend is definitely still up, and I would continue to look for longs in an uptrend. Ooh, that looks like it made an end of a crescent right there. I bet if you put your Fibonacci on there. Now it's like, where do you put it though? That's the question. Looks like it really should go right there. Yeah, that is it, isn't it? Looks like a nice little crescent right there. I gotta have to go look at the dollar pairs to see if the dollar's going down again. That looks like the end of a crescent right there, and it looks like it's just gonna keep going up. I'm still long on my euro yen. Not euro yen, euro dollar, that is. Because I still haven't really seen any confirmation that anything is over yet. So what do we got here? It's definitely not a very recognizable pattern. It's like a B, C, D. Maybe that's the A, B. Maybe that's the C, D. And then this is a downtrend for the E. And then we just barely had a break of structure right at the 61% Fibonacci level. So I would be looking for a pullback, and at the end of that pullback is going to be a much safer, much more desirable entry to go long for the continuation of this uptrend. It does look like an ABCDE, even though it's very messy. Really, the clarity is on a little bit of a longer time frame, probably like the 4-hour time frame. That's where the clarity is at, because there I can see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave pattern that going right to the 61% and then turning up and breaking structure. So it looks like the stock market's headed back up. Was it the Nifty? Yeah, the normal Nifty. Ooh, that looks like the end of a crescent also. How different are these two? Yeah, the Nifty Bank is actually quite a bit stronger, and they're almost the same pattern. But the Nifty Bank is quite a bit stronger to the upside, though. I'm not really sure if I know what the difference is. I know this is the New York Stock Exchange, and that must be the New York Stock Exchange Bank or something. I don't know. I'm more of a Forex guy, so I'm not really sure, but it definitely looks like it's ended a crescent, and it still looks like it's going to keep going up. I still think there's a good chance it could go all the way up and make a new high. 4-hour time frame, that definitely looks like the end of a crescent. This is very corrective and then very impulsive. So you have impulsive. Ooh, wait, actually it could be a 5 though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Definitely could be a wave 5. So if it goes up to this high and then turns down, I would definitely be careful, but it's just as easy. It could just keep on drifting up. So for now, I would definitely just keep looking for longs in an uptrend. Oh, it's actually pretty clear. We got one wave down, kind of a messy wave up, but someplace in here there's probably a wave B, and then this is a wave C. Whoops. It's supposed to be a wave C at least, right there. And we broke structure to the upside, so we can pretty much confirm that this ABC is over. We're going to go look at the dollar pairs in a few minutes, see what's going on, give them one more look. It is Monday, so I don't really expect, we really did have a pretty decent amount of movement for a Monday already. Yeah, it looks like a 1, 2, 3. Honestly, what I would probably be doing right now is using my Fibonacci extension to see if I could project where this is going to go. If that is a wave 3, then it needs to go beyond the 100% Fibonacci level, so I would say that that's probably got a long ways to go to the upside. Most wave 3s go around the 161, 150 area, so I would say way up here is probably the most likely place for this to end, this wave 3. So, let's see. Let's head back to the dollar pairs. Let me check one more time. See if there's any more requests in the private chats. So if anybody is interested, definitely join my Discord channel. It's 100% free to join. No obligations to pay a dime if you do not want to. It's over 3,000 members now, so it's a great community of traders. If you are looking for some more help with your trading, I just finished my trading course a couple weeks ago. So my trading course comes with the gold membership. So if you sign up for the gold membership on Discord or on Patreon, then you'll get my course included for free. So it's over 38 videos, so it's definitely a great value and a really good course. People that have watched it have been really happy with it. Look at that, it's still going down. Man, these dollar pairs. Sometimes you're better off just to find something else to trade. I mean, the euro dollar is definitely one of my top traded pairs, but sometimes you're better off to just find a different currency to trade. Look at this. Still almost nothing. This is the daily time frame, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row we've been ranging, maybe even 6 days in a row. We've been just in a tight little channel. The fact that it hasn't taken out structure to the upside still tells me that it could just keep on going down. So I'm still very bearish on the dollar. I still think there's a good chance this could be the end of a correction. But like I said, when you have the end of a wave C, it needs to make a downtrend. If this doesn't start trending like pretty much yesterday, then that's going to invalidate the idea of this being a wave C. Honestly, with this three-way pattern down, I'm starting to think that it's probably not the end of a wave C. So I'm not really convinced that this is over yet. Now, if it does go down, if it starts breaking out structure, if it makes impulsive and corrective movements, then I will say that that probably is the end of a correction, and it probably is going down. Higher time frames, the trend is definitely still down. Shorter time frames, we should still be looking for shorts primarily in a downtrend. So I'm still long my euro dollar. I still haven't seen an exit. I haven't seen any reason to get out yet. I've been long since last week, right around there somewhere, and I still haven't seen an exit, so no reason to really get nervous about this. I still think it could be the end of a correction, but I definitely see the possibility that it could make a bigger correction. So if you see a big impulsive move down, a big engulfing candle, then I would say that could be the end of a wave B or possibly the end of a wave D, and then it could possibly go down and make a wave E. So we're definitely still kind of ranging on the dollar, there's no doubt about that. The pound dollar hasn't really invalidated anything either. It still could be the end of a correction, and it still may just keep on trending up. It never took out any structure, so the trend is definitely still up, so I'm primarily still looking for longs in an uptrend. Aussie dollar is starting to look a little better, and we have that Aussie news this week. I'm hoping what happens on the Aussie is it goes up, breaks structure, and then when that news comes out this week, well, we're going to be looking something like that. Because if that is what it looks like when the news comes out, you can almost guarantee that it's going to go up for a big wave 3. So hopefully that's what happens with the all the dollar pairs. It's about time to find something else to trade until we can get some clarity on these. I mean, I still think there's some clarity, but they're definitely just ranging. It's hard to make money when the market is not doing anything, that's for sure. So, I mean, yeah, maybe if you're like a 30-second or a 15-second scalper, there's probably some money to be made, but everybody else is probably kind of struggling during these times. It definitely looks like a 1-2, and it could go up and make like a 3. And hopefully it does start breaking some structure, because that will confirm that this is the end of a correction. And that Aussie news is probably going to affect the Kiwi also. So if it breaks structure and then makes a pullback, at the end of that pullback is going to be a much safer, much more desirable entry to go long for the continuation of the uptrend. Oh, that's going down, which is good. That is a wave A, end of a wave A probably. That's probably the 3-4-5 shape right there. 3-4-5 of A. Now we're going to go down probably and make a correction to this move up. Probably an A, B, C, of B. It doesn't really look like this is in the state to just keep on trending down. It's probably going to make a correction to this whole move up, and probably go up at least one more time to the 50 or the 60%, 61.8% to make a wave C. US dollar Swiss has been probably one of the better dollar pairs. Even during this really choppy period, it's still been trending down because we had the end of a correction and because the Swiss has been strong and the dollar has been fairly weak. So there's been some pretty good trading opportunities on this one over the past couple of weeks, even though other dollar pairs have been very, very rangy. US dollar yen, like I said, I don't know. I'm personally I'm staying away from this because the yen is weak and the dollar is weak. That doesn't make for a very good combination. But if you do see impulsive up, if you see corrective down, then you may as well get long. I mean, it looks to me like it's more likely to just keep on going long, even though the dollar looks like it's more likely to go down. I think that the yen is going to take control. I always consider the dollar yen more of a yen pair than a dollar pair. I think that the yen drives the dollar yen more than the dollar drives the dollar yen. So I would definitely be looking for longs on this one most likely, but definitely with some caution. Gold, yeah, what is gold up to? Is it going to make like a big old correction on the longer time frames like this? Like a hold on. Like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A, and then make a B, then make a C, and then go up. Definitely could. It really, I mean, we broke structure, but it still hasn't really closed below structure to really convince me that this is over yet. I mean, if this turns back up impulsively, I would almost say that that's the end of a correction, but it hasn't really done it yet. I still say on the weekly time frame, if this is a wave 3, which I still think it is, wave 3 needs to go beyond the 100% level, so that means that this has got a long ways to go to the upside most likely. So whatever we see on the sort of time frame should be a correction to that. 4-hour time frame, we do have a break of structure, but it really, like I said, it broke structure, but it's not convincing at all that it's going down. I mean, this still looks very overlapping and very corrective to me. If this was like a 1, 2, 3 of wave A, then wave 3 would be strong. It would be very, very powerful. It would look like that. So I'm not even really convinced that that's a wave 3. I'm still convinced that it's going to go up. I'm still more convinced that this is going to turn at one of these fib levels and continue the uptrend. So, I don't know. It's not very convincing either direction right now. But what was nice today is we had a little bit of a sorting opportunity. We had 3 waves up to the 38. It kind of looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wave downtrend. Then if it goes up, then if it breaks structure, maybe that will convince us that the wave correction is over. I don't really see any proof that it's going up, and honestly, I think it's more likely to go down, maybe down to these lows. But like I said, if it turns up in a big way and takes out structure, I would definitely be convinced that this is the end of correction. It's very hard to count. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this never broke any structure, so that looks like a 6 and a 7. This did break structure, so that's probably an A or a 1. This is probably 3 waves up for a B or possibly a 2. And we probably are in a wave C. It looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wave downtrend for a wave C. So I'm still looking at this as possibly being a correction. But I definitely don't see any reason to start looking for longs yet. I mean, I would have to see a nice impulsive move up, a clear break of structure before I would even think about going long. And until that happens, I would probably just continue to look for shorts on the much shorter time frames. I mean, yeah, there might have been a few longs if you were scalping on the sort of time frames today. It is starting to turn up a little. But the dollar's not really convincing. None of these pairs are really convincing that they're turning. And we really don't have any good dollar news today. Maybe tomorrow, consumer confidence. That consumer confidence is definitely a pretty big dollar news. And what else? Durable goods is a little, yeah, not really. Unemployment claims is a pretty good dollar news. And the PCE, yeah, not really. Probably the best dollar news we have all week is tomorrow. So maybe tomorrow is the day where this thing finally starts ranging. There's no doubt that the dollar is waiting for something. It probably is waiting for that consumer confidence. Tomorrow, right? Yeah. Consumer confidence tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So that's probably what it's waiting for, I would say. Does silver give us any clues? Oh, silver's kind of looking a little better than gold. Yeah, silver's a little more convincing that this is like an A. This is a B, maybe, and this is a C. I don't know. None of it's really that convincing because even this hasn't made an impulsive move up yet. So if that does make an impulsive move up, I would say that probably is the end of a correction. Yeah, it's trying to go up. It's just not really too convincing. Yeah, it's definitely trying. So, wave C of wave B. Yeah, that could be. That does kind of look like that could be an A. 3 waves down for the B. And then go up and make a C. That would make a lot of sense, honestly, too. Yeah, I could definitely picture that menu for sure. But I don't really know about a B, though. I don't know. It kind of looks like the B is back here. 95. Yeah, that would lead us up to about the 61% level. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is starting to go up, just not very convincingly. So if you haven't done so already, definitely like and subscribe to my channel. Definitely check out my free Discord. It's 100% free to join. No obligations to pay a dime. Yeah, right. You're definitely looking for those wave 3s. So like I said, definitely like and subscribe to my channel. I live stream on Monday, on Wednesday, and on Friday. So I hope to see everybody back here on Wednesday, same time, same place. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of the day. We still have a few hours until New York session is over, so maybe we can get some movement out of this dollar. I mean, it looks like it wants to go down, but it's not really that convincing yet. I mean, it still could be the end of a correction, but like I said, it's not really too convincing. If that is the end of a correction, then it needs to start trending. If it doesn't start trending, then that probably invalidates that this is the end of a correction. So I hope everybody enjoys the rest of the day, and as usual, happy trading.